Hello everyone, my name is Amit Arjun Verma and today I am going to present my work which is KDAP, an open source toolkit to accelerate knowledge building research. I built this library for researchers who are working in knowledge building domain to understand the knowledge building dynamics of collaborative knowledge building portals. In this presentation, I am going to show you how I built this library and how useful it is for the knowledge building researchers. Let's start. There are many knowledge building portals, or you can say knowledge archival portals, such as Wikipedia, Stack Exchange, Yahoo Answers, Reddit, and so on. The most common thing about these portals is they are maintained by the crowd, and even though it looks very fascinating, they are very popular. For example, if you take the case of Wikipedia, it has a very weird rule that anyone can edit. Can you imagine that? Any one of you can go to a Wikipedia article and you can edit it. Even though with this weird rule, Wikipedia is very popular. For example, if you go to Google and you search something regarding a concept or maybe regarding a person, one of the first few hits will be Wikipedia. And researchers are trying to understand how Wikipedia is being maintained by the crowd. How crowd is so intelligent that it is helping Wikipedia develop such a huge knowledge base. Our idea is to facilitate researchers with a powerful tool which can be used to analyze all these portals altogether. So the idea is very clear. We want our library to be as powerful that a researcher who is trying to understand the dynamics of knowledge building on one of these portals or maybe all of these portals should be able to analyze these portals easily. And hence we build a library named KDAP which can be used to extract, mine and analyze the data set of these portals. Let us see the problems that you are facing today and how our library is solving those problems. The first problem is that all these portals contains different types of data. It's because the functionality of these portals. For example, Wikipedia is something where anyone can come and contribute their knowledge. Whereas Stack Overflow is a different kind of portal. It's a question and answer portal where a person asks a question and there is a different person or an answerer who will answer that question. So because of the functionality of these portals, the data set of these portals are different. The second issue is that these portals contains a lot of data set. For example, if you see the data set of Wikipedia, it's in terabytes. If you see the data set of Stack Exchange or just Stack Overflow, it's in some gigabytes. So processing all this data set is very difficult. The third thing is because of the functionality of these portals, the dataset that they dump for the public use are in different format. So, for example, Stack Overflow dump their dataset in XML format, but even for the XML, the tags are different. So, XML is a framework, and you can have different tags. GitHub dataset is not publicly available. Few researchers have used the MongoDB format to represent the GitHub dataset. Similarly, Wikipedia dataset is dumped by MediaWiki Foundation in XML format. Again, even though it is XML format, the tags are different. So I have taken the example of these three portals, and the idea is to show that the dataset is huge and the format is different. So even if you have a simple question of finding how many users are contributing in these portals, you would have to take the dataset of all these portals. You have to write a code. Not a single piece of code will work for all these portals because the dataset format is different. The functionality of the portals are different. Hence, you would have to write a different piece of code for each portal to find a simple question of finding how many users are there in each portal. So this is an issue that we are trying to solve. Finding number of users is a simple task, but there are many complex problems which are difficult to be solved. For example, understanding the collaboration dynamics on these portals is a very complex task, or maybe understanding the incentivization mechanism on these portals, or maybe understanding the knowledge generation on these portals. These are very complex tasks and requires some kind of thinking to analyze the dataset of these portals. The issue with the dataset of these portals is, even though you came up with an algorithm to find solution to a new question, generalizing the algorithm on these portals is very difficult. Hence, of generalizing the algorithm in these portals using our library named KDAP. To solve the generalization problem, first we came up with a standard format which we named as NOLML, or you can say knowledge markup language. So all this data set of collaborative knowledge building portal we can represent in NOLML format. And using the NOLML format, KDAP can be used to analyze the dataset. We define instance as a piece of information which is added by a contributor at a particular timestamp. The idea is to break the knowledge data into a series of instances, making it the fundamental unit of our format. And we do this by choosing XML as our framework. Why we chose XML? Because it's very popular and is extensible. We want to represent the dataset of any portal in NOLML format, and hence XML is our first choice. Now let me show you an example. Suppose this is a system and multiple contributors, or you can say editors, have contributed to this system at different timestamp. For example, contributor 1 edited at timestamp T1, contributor 2 edited at timestamp T2, contributor 3 edited at timestamp T3, and so on. Now my idea is to represent the dataset of such portals in NOLML format. Now you can see I have segregated the instances based on the timestamp. For example, the edits which were performed by the contributor 1 at timestamp T1 will be the instance number 1, whereas the edits or the edit which was performed by contributor 2 at timestamp T2 will be the instance number 2, and so on. Hence, representing the dataset of this system in NOLML format will be something like this. Now we have defined the NOLML format. The overall design of the system is, first, we create a miner to extract the dataset of these portals. After mining the dataset, we convert the dataset into NOLML format. Once we have converted the dataset into NOLML format, we create an analysis tool which works on NOLML format to analyze the dataset of these portals. After an analysis, the only task that researcher has to do is to infer the analysis. And using this inference, we can understand the knowledge building dynamics. This figure represents the overall architecture of KDAP system. With KDAP, we have also kept open a dataset named as CAR. The CAR dataset contains many popular knowledge building dataset in NOLML format. You can directly download this dataset using KDAP. If you have any questions, you can directly mail us. We would like you to visit our library at github.com/decentis/KDAP. Being an open source library, we welcome the community to contribute to KDAP and CAR dataset. So now we will look into the library and see how we can analyze the dataset of crowdsourced knowledge building portals, or you can say online collaborative portals such as Wikipedia, Stack Exchange, and other portals. So the crux of the project was that somehow we should be able to represent the dataset of all these portals into a single format. And after getting a single format, the library should be able to handle the dataset. I mean, it should be able to retrieve all the information from that dataset easily. I mean, by easy, I mean that it should require less memory and less time. So now we will see how we can use this KDAP library to analyze the dataset of these portals. So I'll go to the GitHub page of that library, that is github.com/decentis kdap. And if you just go there, you'll see that this is the library main page, and you can just read the readme file, and you'll see there are a lot of content. The first headline, the first section presents the very basic working of represents the very basic working of this library, how we can uh, import the library and use the basic methods. And there are other things, that what are the things you require are required to install this library. I mean, what are the prerequisites? And if you read this, you will know that what are the things you need in your laptop or computer first to install this library. And installation is very pretty simple. Just do pip install kdap, and it should work fine. If you are working on Python 3 and uh, you have different versions of Python, then you can just use pip3 install kdap, and that should also do the work. Uh, we have a documentation page also at readthedocs.io, and there is a small video tutorial. It's not a tutorial, it's a teaser on YouTube. You can watch the teaser which we presented at OpenSim, so you can watch this. And documentation is a must if you are using this library to analyze the dataset. So you can go to the documentation page, and there are other things that we have mentioned for the one thing is that how can you, if you want to be a contributor to this page, to this library, then what are the things you should know. So we have created a set of test cases in this library, and if you want to contribute, if you want to write new functions or methods, or if you just want, if you think there are few things which are buggy and you want to change the bug, uh, then you can test those bugs based on the test cases that we have provided. And you can just send the pull request if it is passing all the test cases, and we'll review the pull request. So this is how we are working, and this is about the licensing and who are the contributors to this project as of now. Also, I have given the link of NoLML data temp, I mean, which is the car dataset, and you can go there and have a look what are the dataset that we are providing. That slowly we are providing, we are going to upload a lot of dataset, which is a kind of whole of Wikipedia. We are working on compressing the dataset because you know that Wikipedia size is it's massive, so it would be difficult for us to upload whole of Wikipedia articles in its current version. So we are trying to compress the size, and after that we will upload it. But most mainly a sample of dataset that we have uploaded here, you can have a look. So this is pretty much about this page, and I'll just go to the uh, documentation section. And if you go there, you'll see that we have provided a basic tutorial about how to install and get started with KDAP methods and analysis codes. So the first thing is only the requirements and installation part. What are the things that you need? Um, so yeah, the one more thing is that as of now, this library is not platform independent. So you need to be on a Linux based OS, which is either you are on Ubuntu or any Linux based system. Even on Mac iOS it will work, but not on Windows as of now. But yeah, we are trying to make it soon. We will make it platform independent, that it will work on any machine, any operating system. But as of now, it will work on Linux, because there are a few dependencies that we have not uh, changed, which only works on Linux. For example, p7zip works on Linux only, and there are a few more things, but we are trying to change it. So kindly be patient, and we'll be changing it soon. So these are the requirements, pretty simple. You can just go there and see how to install KDAP library and what are the prerequisites. Actually, if you just do pip install KDAP, it should install all the prerequisites and what are the things which are all, and it will automatically install all the dependencies. Okay, so this is pretty much about requirements. uh, okay, and this is the getting started page, and this is very we have provided very basic examples on how can you just start with using the KDAP library. So the first thing that we have started with, we have listed here, is how to extract, not extract, download the dataset in your local machine. So KDAP, although KDAP have few functions which directly works on internet, that you can get the data on through internet, parse it, and then you get the analysis result. But most of the analysis is on a local happens on local machine. So you need to retrieve the data set on your local machine, and then you analyze it. uh, so we made the library in a way that it should be able to handle a lot of data set. But in the end, you should have a machine which can accumulate a lot of data set, because you know that Wikipedia, Stack Exchange have a lot of data set. And if you want to analyze these portals, then uh, although you have not a strong processor, but you should have a strong, you should have a massive hard disk. So that's a kind of prerequisite. But we assume that anyone who is trying to analyze the data set of these portals should have that these kind of machines, that it should be able to handle, accumulate the it should be able to handle the data set size. That's it. So you can look at this page and what are the functionalities that we have listed here. And the last page is function overview, and we have listed all the functions here which KDA provides. And you can look at these functions and how to there are examples also how to use these functions, and what are the analysis results you will get once you are when you are using this function. So mostly briefly I will describe that there are mostly two categories of functions. And the first category are those which analyze the sequential knowledge building data, which is NOLML file in a serial way, which is that we go frame by frame, rather instance by instance. And once we process first instance, we dump the data out of the heap, and we go to the next instance. This way we save the RAM. So we don't uh, upload all the data set in RAM in one time. Rather than we just go chunk by chunk processing, and then we uh, analyze it. This way we can handle a huge file at a time. So this is the advantage that we get. But the second category of analysis functions, those articles which you can just put into, which you just put the articles into the RAM, and you can just work on those functions, articles, or data set in one go. So there is no sequential processing. The processing happens at a time, in one go. So this is pretty much, you can go there and have a look at this library, all the functions here. And now I'll be presenting few methods of KDAP, and I'll show you the analysis of a few articles on Wikipedia, and show how the library actually works.